Why is procrastination the biggest problem? Tell us about it, right? It's it's a huge thing that everybody struggles with. But ultimately, procrastination is it's a multi-headed beast. We procrastinate because what we need to do is going to be hard, going to cause us pain, is going to expose us to potential failure, all of those things. So procrastination is your brain's way ultimately of saying, hey, let's just chill. Your brain just really wants you to be happy. And it knows whenever you stretch, whenever you expose your work, whenever you do something that is hard, you're stressing yourself. You're literally creating a stress on your body. And your brain doesn't want that as a general rule. So it throws up other things to do, stuff that's not important, Candy Crush or awesome Clash Royale or any of those things, to basically, it makes you happy. It gives you a distraction, and so the distractions are there. And sometimes you'll procrastinate in all sorts of things. Like I can always tell when my eldest daughter Hannah has exams because she's busy cleaning her room. Right? It's the only time. But that's part of the whole, that's procrastination. So there's a few different ways that you can tackle this. The key one that I have here, geez, I need a haircut. I've got a spiky hair today. Fortunately, if you're on the podcast, you don't have to see that. My Kanban board is how I fight procrastination. I've just reset it for the week. And I know that here's the thing. So the way I sort of look at it, I realize that you've got a certain amount of energy, right? And that energy peaks at particular times of day. So it makes total sense for the thing that's most important to do. Like we're relaunching Achiever Formula. I actually look out for that. A lot of people have been asking about Achiever Formula. And I need to reshoot the third video in that series. We want to tighten it up and add some things in there. So that's the most important thing that I've got to do. So I'm going to put that post-it note in my today column and focus on, and I'm just going to get that done. Because here's the thing. I know if whatever else happens, whatever else gets done, if I get that done, I've moved the ball forward. I've moved our business forward. And that's really important, right? And so for me, it's more thinking about what are the chunks of things that I can do and get them done. And I heartily recommend, if this is something you're struggling with, Achiever Formula or our Kanban for Entrepreneurs is a great way to solve that problem, because entrepreneurs in particular, we're hardwired. Well, 65% of us, I should say, 65% of us, including me, are squirrel. We are absolutely hardwired to be distracted, because that's part of our strength, actually, is to see opportunities quickly and to see cool stuff and realize, oh, maybe I can use that to do that. That's a skill, right? However, when it comes to just nailing a piece of copy or, getting a video edited and out the door, those distractions can be deadly. So you need a way to manage that. And the one thing I do know now is that there is no one productivity system that works for everybody. If you've done your Colby Index and you're a high fact finder, high follow through, you can use those really ultra detailed to-do list, software, task management type stuff, because that's perfect for you. Whereas for me, it's a waste of time. I need something visual and in my face that I can't avoid. Otherwise, there's no, 65% of entrepreneurs will love setting up a to-do app or a new to-do system or a new day planner or whatever it is. They love it more, love trying new systems, getting things done, whatever it happens to be. They never stick, because we're just not wired to follow through and look at these things on a daily basis. And so that's part of the challenges of being an entrepreneur. So to me, Sheila, it's very important for you to look at, I'd recommend you, if you haven't, take a Colby Index, Kolbe. index. It's sort of like $40, something like that, and it is such. Nobody I've ever asked to take a Colby index has gone, Ed, this sucks. That was a complete waste of time. It's an eye opener, and it's all about. It's not measuring your IQ or your emotional intelligence. It's measuring how you act. The things that you will find much easier to do, and the things that you will find harder to do, and it's eerily accurate. And what it does is it gives you then the ability to figure out what type of process. And feel free, if you do go and do it, here's the thing, drop your Colby number. And by the way, there's no bad scores in Colby. You just are who you are, right? There's no pass or fail or anything. Every score that you get is a fine score. It just helps you understand the things that you should be looking at, because there's this fundamental thing. And this is, you talk about procrastination, and actually this was a big topic at the Pro Blogger conference. So often, because of our schooling, because of our upbringing, we're taught to focus on where we're weak and to work on our weaknesses. Now, Kathy Colby, of course, was fantastic in pointing out that, look, it's crazy. You spend all that time and energy working on a weakness that will never be great, but you've got these incredible strengths that you can utilize, that you're already really, really, really good at, and you can utilize those. Because let's face it, there's never been a better time on this planet for you to be able to hire somebody on Fiverr to do tasks that you are not suited to. Never been a better time. And that's what's so exciting about this. So you can do that. So like I mentioned when we were talking stickers, right? There's two people. Like if you're a designer, then go for it, right? If you are a programmer, you still need to get somebody to do the designing. Now, it's probably creating a sticker app for iOS is probably the easiest app task in human history. It's ridiculously simple for somebody who knows what they're doing. But please, don't go and think you're going to build the app yourself if you've never done programming before, even though it's super easy. But it's super easy for me because I understand programming, right? Now, I'm not going to design my stickers, am I? Because it may actually challenge stickers. There's an idea. I'm going to write that one down. Challenge stickers will be awesome. I'm not going to design those. I want to get a great illustrator. And good news, there are fantastic illustrators available at 99 Designs, at Fiverr, at Upwork. There's so many places to get good designers who can design great stickers for me. Some animated GIFs would be awesome, now I think about it. All of those things would be really, really cool. But here's the thing, I know my strength in this is telling you all about my sticker pack when I get the sticker pack that you'll be able to download, right? That'll be great. That's my technique. And maybe understanding the types of stickers. Like there's got to be a throwing the table over sticker. That's super crucial. And an angry sticker. And I know all the key emojis, a thumbs up type sticker. All of those things, right? That's what I know. I know what the market will want. But get somebody else to program it. And remember what I said, if anybody charges you more than $20 to program your sticker app, they're ripping you off, okay? Make sure you know that. Any high school student that is doing, is learning iOS app programming, after their third lesson, they'll be able to create these sticker apps, all right? So please don't get ripped off. Pay the money to get the animated GIFs and the design done because you want them to look good, because if they don't look great, they're going to not work at all. And they'll be negative for your brand as opposed to a positive. But that's the point, right? And I think procrastination comes from a place where people are, they're working on their weaknesses, hence they don't enjoy. They're expanding a huge amount of energy working on their weaknesses, like people who have an online business who get weighted down in technical stuff, for example. They think that they're the ones that have to install this WordPress plugin, that they're the ones that have to do that. Something that is a 5-minute task for somebody who knows what they're doing can be 3 days of stress and pain. And the trouble is, your fuel tank, your willpower fuel tank, is being drained at a huge rate when you're working on things that are not your strengths. And that's where we want to go. And there are so many things that you can get done now for a cup of coffee that it's crazy. So that it's, why is procrastination the biggest problem? It's all of those things. It's incredibly complex. And the key answer is there's not one methodology that is going to work for everybody to cure procrastination. And indeed, I don't think procrastination actually is, in some place, a really good thing. Like, it's really important. For example, I've started a meditation practice, and that's been amazing. And from somebody who thought, the idea of leaving myself alone with my thoughts in my head for more than 2 minutes is terrifying. But it's amazing. I really look forward to it now, and it's something that I think has helped. I hope has helped a little bit. But to me, procrastination, program procrastination can be actually really good. When Gary Halbert finished a draft of his sales letter, he'd go for a drive, because he'd want that to let the subconscious work on the problem, not the conscious. And by procrastination can actually be a huge positive used correctly. But hopefully that's been of some use to you, Sheila. That's been useful. And again, if you do a Colby, please pop it in, and we can talk about. The great thing, when I'm working with private clients, I get them to take a Colby because it helps me make sure that I'm not assigning stuff like before I use Colby. And I've said this many times, but I would say to someone, "Oh, your market's YouTube. Oh, you've got to start a YouTube channel. It'd be awesome for you, YouTube channel." And I'd hear the client on the other side of the phone, and it'd be like, oh, "Okay, all right." And of course, they would rather slam an appendage in a car door than do video. It's just not in their skill set. And it turns out with Colby, you can tell very quickly whether somebody's going to have a aptitude for doing video. I'm super comfortable doing this, but when I have to write something, when I have to write an article, I've got to go through a whole process to trick myself into writing it because it's not my core strength. I figured out how to do that, but using Colby, you can figure out a way to do that. I use dictation, for example. That's how I get around it. So that, to me, is something that's really, really important.